Well, good morning or good night. This is Lynn over in the Rooster Garden. I was out here the other night walking around the other morning like I normally do. In the light, picked up all the green tomatoes on these tomato plants out here. So I thought I'd come out here with another kind of light with my camera. Kind of do a slow walkthrough so maybe y'all can see all the tomatoes on these tomato plants inside my greenhouse. There's some of them 7 foot tall in here, I guess already. But I'm gonna walk slow and see if y'all can count how many tomatoes is already inside this greenhouse. I am very fortunate to have this greenhouse to get my tomatoes started early. But it's one variety that was gifted to me from VW Family Farms here in Arkansas. When I germinated them, they just took off growing. And I just get my compost put inside the greenhouse here. So I had to go somewhere with them. So they got a little bit of head start. These and the Italian variety both. And the beefsteak, I guess. So they're all doing really extremely well in here. But it just doesn't. Now when I was there the other morning, the tomatoes just like stood out to me. And I went in, got John, told him, got him about before daylight. I said, come in, I want to show you something in here in the greenhouse at night with just the light hitting these green tomatoes. So I'm going to show y'all what it looks like at nighttime and show you how many tomatoes are in this greenhouse already so early in the season. Hold on 1 second. We're going to start here. It is Amish Collie. If you can spot them things in there. This ain't seem to be done like that other did. A little bit further down. I'm out here in the greenhouse. The other night I was out here walking around doing my little nightly deals. And this little light right here. And I just couldn't believe how it picked up all of these green tomatoes that's on these vines. Some of these tomato plants are over 7 foot tall in here already, so early in the season. I got a jump start due to the greenhouse. I seeded them early and they really started growing. This variety I never growed before. They was gifted to me from VW Family Farms, and I am really blown away with all these tomatoes that are on these plants. I'm gonna kind of do a slow walkthrough. Like I said, this light just really makes these green tomatoes jump here. This is that variety that's called Amish Collie, I think it's pronounced. I keep telling y'all about. That's AMOSCOLI. If y'all can find them. I haven't did much research, but you can see how many tomatoes on that trust right there. But it's amazing how these things are putting out. Look at that truss there, how many tomatoes are on there. All down through there. Like I said, these tomatoes are way over top of my head. But just something about this light the other night, the other morning. It just, I don't think the camera does it justice, but in person, it just astronomical amount of tomatoes on these vines. And these trusses right here, look at the blooms, plus the tomatoes already starting up here, way up here at the top. It's just amazing what these plants are doing. I am very fortunate to have this greenhouse, get these things started out early. It's just so peaceful out here right now. No storms at the moment. Some of these tomatoes are getting huge. Let's see if I can turn this one here around. Look how big that tomato is already. It's got some weight to it. I have several of them like that in here. But it's just amazing how tall these things are. Over here, the Italian variety that my co-partner in Texas sent me these seeds. Never growed them before until this year. All these tomatoes I'm growing inside the greenhouse, I'm going to try my best to save seeds out of these so I can share with other people. Because these stalks and on these tomato plants are, to me they're huge. You know, I mean thick, healthy stalks. Look at this right here. Look at all the tomatoes on that truss there. But like this, in person, this light makes these green tomatoes stand out. It's just amazing. This is a tomato I did the other day. I did a tip on them. He's growing sideways. He just loaded up with tomatoes. So, like I said, this light just really picks all these tomatoes up. Look at all those on there hanging down over that way. They're just everywhere. I should have a pretty good tomato harvest out of all these tomatoes. Over here on this side is John's beefsteak tomatoes. We grew these last 2 years. They're like a determinate tomato. They put out one time. Let me get this thing lighter in here. You see all those tomatoes on there. Over there. Look at all those tomatoes going right on up that stalk there. From this view over here, it's just amazing. You see all of them down through there. Look at all these tomatoes on this one right here. Makes me hold this light the wrong way. Hurt my fingers. But I just want to come out here and show you all these here. And like I said, if you can see these, can't tell that I get up there on the computer how it looks. But you see the top of my greenhouse up there. Like I said, these tomatoes are over my head. And they get, I don't know, I know they're good 7 foot, probably getting close to 8 foot tall in here. I'll try to get my measure tape out and measure how tall the tallest one is. You look up in there. This light just brings these tomatoes out. Look at them right in there. It is so peaceful. It smells so good inside this greenhouse. Wonderful smell. I just can't say enough. Just can't say enough about these tomatoes. You know. Like I said, I'm going to try my best to save these seeds, as many as I can, so I can try to send to other people who would like to have some of them. And not just the tomatoes I'm going to show y'all. This is that Advarsky pepper that I've talked about, that Sarah and Kevin grew at Living Traditions Homestead up in Missouri. They got me interested in them. These plants are really doing well for me this year. First year I growed them. And it looks like I'm going to have quite a few peppers on these things. You can't show them all, but I'll show you some of the peppers that are coming off already. There's still lots and lots of blooms coming up. Here's another big tomato down here. Get my hand on here. This thing is, that's a nice looking tomato. Mini chocolate bell peppers. Same seeds come from VW Family Farms. They're coming on. So that's like come out here late night, early morning, before daylight, and just walk around and look and just in awe how nature can produce so much so quick. But you have to take care of things, you know. But like I said, you can see the row at the top of the greenhouse, how tall these things are getting. Bring the light up right here. Can you get an idea how tall these tomatoes are getting? There's the side of the greenhouse. You can see this thing's 12.5 foot in the center. And some of these plants, I would say less than 4 foot from being up to the top up there. So they're good. Some of them, I bet it's about close to 8 foot. I'll try to get y'all a measurement next time I come out here and let you know how tall these things are getting. But like I said, I'm kind of like a kid, you know, in Wonderland, I guess you could say. These, like I said, oh man, this is something else. The Florida weave I started doing on these tomatoes wasn't working out, so I started stringing them back up like I've done from the beginning, you know, my greenhouse. These things are so heavy, that Florida weave wouldn't have held them anyways, you know. They're just really heavy fruit or tomatoes. So it's just hard to count how many tomatoes are inside this greenhouse already. And my brown Russian cucumbers over here, they're putting out. I've got several so far off of here. You see them there, or down there. They're not a real uniform cucumber. They have excellent flavor. So far I've got 6 of them off of here, 7 I think, though I picked one today. I'm trying to keep a tally of them to enter in on the Shed Wars deal contest, but it's still loaded with cucumbers. The straight 8s over here, it got lots of blooms, lots of little baby cucumbers. Nothing any sizable to eat yet. But they're gonna come along. It's still early. I still gotta do some pruning on these things again. I've been doing other things. I gotta get back in the greenhouse here. Do some suckering and all that stuff, tying up. I still got some I've gotta get planted. I got some bait alphas out in the garden outside. Then I got some more of the other ones in here in this tray that I need to get in this inside greenhouse here. Like I said, you see the string, I think running out the side. Too many irons in the fire, too many projects going at once. But this is a peaceful time of the day for me. Just walking. These down here in my pink ox hearts. They're putting out tomatoes. They're not really big. You see one over on that side over there. Kind of do a walkthrough of these ox hearts. I still gotta get these things fastened to the fence here. As you can see, that one there is way away from the fence. But they are putting on fruit. You see them right there. They're coming along. Over on the side over here, I've got some sweet millions. Let me walk down. There's more blooms coming up. You walk around here to sweet millions. There's one back corner over here. We ran out of those ox hearts, so we started putting sweet millions over here. You can see the blooms are getting tomatoes on them. They're coming along. So, yep. It won't be long when I have these tomatoes over here. So, then the Rutgers over here on this side here, they finally got a foothold in the compost, getting blooms. I don't know if I need to pinch these things off or what to do with them. Kind of heard that you need to pinch them off, give them a chance to go further up. Well, I start trying to focus on making fruit. But get my babies in here, my new addition to the homestead. There they are. I kind of woke them up this light, and I think it's time to get up and get eating again. So that's the new addition. 2 does, haven't got a buck yet. These are only around 12 weeks old. Tomatoes here on the patio. I noticed a while ago when I come out, these fell over. I hope I can get them stood back up without them breaking off. But you can see how these are growing. They'll get some pretty good size to them. So these are the volunteer, hopefully the yellow pears over here I talked about. Had the same pot last year. But we'll just have to see. Walk around over here to my Mexican sour gherkins. And you see how bushy it's getting right now. There's just 2 little plants that got germinated. And now this thing is all the way up to here, which is about 5 foot from the ground up. So, but they, like I said, they start slow, but when they get to growing, they're really prolific. So, but like I said, I just like to get out here and walk around at night, take everything in. So, oh, there we go. To me, this is a peaceful part of the day for me. I can think, look at everything and wonder. You know, it just amazes me, you know, what the good Lord can bring to you, but you got to take care of it. You know, you got to try, and He's going to help you as long as you try. So, I'm going to get off of here. Like I said, this is just one of my nightly walks I do. If you watch the channel, you know I get out here quite a bit during the summertime, walk around, do little video clips and stuff, so talk about what's going on. But y'all have a super day today. This is actually Monday morning. And then come on back and visit. There's going to be more to come this summer. Everybody check out the Shed Wars videos, all 3 teams. And all the people can playing in the contest, participating in it. There's be a lot of good gardening going on this summer. So y'all check everybody out. Talk to y'all later. Bye.